in Texoma. Today I'm going to be talking about something that is similar to something I've talked about before. Uh, Longtime viewers of my show know that I'm a Transformer fan. I collect Transformers. They make me happy. Yay for being happy. uh, Certain characters I get, they're not exactly my favorite, but I like them enough to be able to purchase them. Uh, there's different continuities. There's the comic book continuities. There's the TV show continuities, stuff like that. So sometimes a character in one medium will be absolute crap, and in another context, they can be pretty cool. Uh, for me, that is the deal with Hot Rod. In the original Transformer movie, 1986, he is pretty much responsible for Optimus Prime's death because Megatron holds him hostage to where Optimus can't shoot Megatron because Hot Rod's in the way. And he got in the way after Optimus told him, get out of the way, and led to the character of Optimus Prime dying. Granted, that was actually a move that Hasbro made to sell more toys of the newer stuff that was coming out and get rid of the older stuff like the Optimus Prime figures. But today I'm going to be talking about, yes, Hot Rod, but not necessarily this Hot Rod. I'm going to be talking about this Hot Rod. Now, this is the, I'll say, recent Walmart reissue. I think it was about 3 years ago it came out. This is the world's smallest hot rod. Now, I mean, y'all have seen on my channel before, or my show, sorry, it's not my channel. Please don't hit me for that. No. That I do collect some of the world's smallest size scale figures, like my Shattered Glass Optimus here. I believe I've shown off the Galvatron and Sound Blaster figures that are in my collection. I've got a bunch more, I'll eventually get to them. But this is actually a knockoff. Again, yes, y'all know me. I collect knockoffs. Deal with it. But this is a knockoff of, I believe it was a Toys R Us exclusive of Hot Rod in Japan, in packaging that mirrors his full-size packaging in Japan. So it's all Japanese there. Got your little product shot on the side of robot mode and vehicle mode. Got some Japanese text on the back telling you about safety warnings or something, I guess. I'm not sure. There is the top of the box and the base of the box. Now, I lucked out and caught this one for fairly cheap. I think it was about less than $10 shipped for this a couple years ago on eBay, which is pretty darn cool. The original, from what I understand, has sharp points on the corners, not rounded, and it's a little bit deeper red, not as pinky red as this is. But inside and you open up the little tiny box here, what you get is tiny little hot rod, his tiny little weapons, and a tiny little instruction sheet on how to transform him. Now, one cool thing that these world's smallest, a lot of them, they are just based on the original full-size Generation 1 Transformer figures. So they will transform in pretty much exactly the same way that the original is. It's like, you know, just basically taking the original full-size figure here and shrinking it down to that tiny size. Now, of course, there are some modifications, you know, that have to be made going from this size to this size. But they try to keep it as close as possible to the originals. So what you do is you just slide down his little feet, his legs there, flip out his little feet, then take his little bitty arms, and those just fold out from the side there and then swivel up like that. Take his hood section of the car, flip that around, flip his head up, all that collapses down into his chest there. I know I'm doing all this off camera, I apologize. It's just easier than trying to hold it up and let everything be seen. This is one of those things I'm talking about that some modifications have to be made, because on the original, this backpack piece is actually screwed into the character, where on the world's smallest, it's just like a tiny little peg. Because, I mean, let's face it, making a super tiny little screw there would be pretty darn cost prohibitive. So in transforming that, he does pop apart right there. And being smaller and a knockoff, his transformation isn't exactly tabbing in everywhere perfectly, but I mean, he's a pretty close little approximation of the original Hot Rod. You can see he's got a little arm movement there, his head keeps wanting to flop back. For comparison, this is again the Walmart reissue from a few years ago. Transformation is pretty much the same, and I can do this one on camera because he's bigger and easier to show. You slide the legs down like that, take and flip out the feet like that, take the arms, flip them out to the sides, take this panel here, which is the roof, which sometimes gets a little hung up because it's a booger. different way, which no, it's not wanting to cooperate for that either. Let's see if this will make him cooperate. And doggone it. There we go. Take the head, that front part of the car, which has the head, take that, flip it around, take his little waist piece here, flip that around, the front part of the car, pegs down into, I guess for lack of a better term, his belt buckle area. His waist piece, whatever you want to call it. Take and turn the arms there so they're facing properly. And the last thing you do is turn the back piece of the car. Like I say, on the full-size one, he's actually using a screw there to hold it together. On the small one, he can't, because getting a screw the size that you would need to hold that in there would be insanely expensive. But as you can see, I mean, pretty much the character is the same. Of course, you know, paint details are going to be slightly different because you can't always recreate exactly on a smaller format like this. Yeah, so he's missing that little waist piece detail. He's got the shin guard detail. Doesn't have his little upper arm shoulder detail like the full size does. See what I'm talking about there with the shoulder and then the waist piece, but the small one does have that. Like I said, this guy is pretty darn hard to find right now. I doubt you'd be able to find him for $3.50. Even the knockoff like this one is. You'll probably have better luck finding this Walmart reissue, you know, for about $20 to $50, depending on where you buy it and stuff like that. But I hope y'all enjoyed this little comparison between full-size hot rod and, whoop, there he goes, mini hot rod, which his backpack fell off because, again, it's just on a peg. But I hope y'all enjoy it. See y'all next time. Bye.